or three in the last 10 years. I used to keep a little small bag of candy just to taste it, but now they're all grown up. I still don't know what that is. Well, you know what? Yes, sir. I sure do. Many times.
Call this meeting of the Planning and Zoning Board for October
Are you awake?
21st to order. I would like to welcome all board members here and public who are meeting. We have our agenda. Do we have any requests for excuse absences?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Darlene Gardner did email and said she was going to be out of the country, so she did request an excused absence.
Okay. All right, we have one request for excused absence. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's moved and properly second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, excused absence granted. You have a chance to review the agenda for tonight's meeting. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second. I thought.
You've got several seconds. All right, did you get one of those seconds for your minutes? All right, so it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. You also received in your agenda packet the minutes from the September meeting. Having a chance to review those, what is the pleasure of the board?
To accept.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, minutes for September approved. New business, Brookfield Section 4, Phase 2, final plat.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Good to see everybody tonight. So we got two action items on the agenda. The first one is the final plat for Brookfield Section 4, Phase 2. So some site data. So it's located on Laurie Ellis Road. That's west of its intersection with Old Tar. Parcel number is 25766. It's going to be 25 lots on 10.292 acres, and the zoning is R10. So just give you some background on the history of that site. It was, this board did recommend approval of the preliminary plat almost a year ago, November 19th, 2018. Council subsequently approved it in their December 10th meeting in 2018. Then the construction plans were approved by the Winterville Development Review Committee in March of this year. So they've been working on it ever since. So here is the site. Familiarize, there's Old Tar here, the intersection of Old Tar, Laurie Ellis here, Cooper Point, Cooper's Point's all back here. This is Mellon Downs, so this will be the actual subdivision here. So there's 25 plots. Just some items of note on there. You can see there's a stormwater detention pond here. There'll be the berm and your sidewalks right here. So the sidewalks will connect with the ones that are already down here. And that's all I've got for you for this. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Brian, I take it that the next phase of this is going to tie the two sections together, correct?
That's correct. So it'll actually meander back through here. Mm-hmm. So it'll be developed. So that berm will actually go all the way here and encompass right there. So you'll have sidewalks here and interior lots here, and it will connect somewhere right in here. So there's a stub out. So all this will connect. Yep. Let's see. You can actually probably see. Yeah, stub out. So right there. Yes, sir.
Ryan, this is just information request. When you spoke about the next phase, would the sidewalks go up Old Tar? Just curious.
Yeah, so there's actually a system. You can see the sidewalks here. So there's a property right here that's going to separate it, but for the most part, you'll see it come all the way around and then up probably to right there. But it works good because where the proposed greenway will actually kind of eventually kind of loop from over here and it kind of come in. So hopefully tie in, and that way you'll actually have a whole big loop around. So.
Are there any questions, other questions from the board for Mr. Jones? Are there anyone in the public that has comments towards the board regarding this zoning request? All right, there being none, what is the pleasure of the board regarding the final plat for the Brookfield rezoning?
It's just the approval of the final plat, not a rezoning. So I just want to make,
Sorry,
to
the
clarify.
final plat for the for the final plat for the Brookfield subdivision.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. All those in favor, aye? Aye. Are there any opposed? Okay, agenda item 2.
All right, so the second and last action item we have is a rezoning request by ENS Homes LLC. So just information on the property and the application itself. So the applicant is ENS Homes. The location of the property is on Chapman Street. That's just north of its intersection with Main Street in the downtown section of town. There's 2 separate parcels out there, so it's 4666 and 4665. Total acreage is 0.4 acres, so just under a half acres for both of those parcels. Current zoning is R6, and the proposed zoning district is central business. So reason for this rezoning request per the applicant is to allow the vacant building to be used for office space. Adjacent property owners were mailed notification of the rezoning on October 7th, and a sign was posted on the site on October 2nd. So I'm apologize for my graphics. So I'm getting to use the new land use plan obviously now, but I still haven't gotten my official GIS data, so I kind of had to piecemeal this one. So it's a little bit kind of squirrely on my graphics, but so the property obviously is highlighted in red here. You can see the outline of the building footprint that's there. This is Chapman Street, Main Street here, and then Depot back here. So Railroad Street would be in this area over here. So this is your current zoning. So you can see the majority of it down here is R6. So you can see there's our R6 designation. General business will be on over here in the darker yellow, and then central business it's the lighter yellow. But so there's the property itself highlighted. You can see the 2 separate parcels. So this is the existing land use map. Again, I apologize for the graphics. This one's really hard to see. But currently it's listed as an institutional use. So you can see that, and that stems from the rescue, fire and rescue use of it. So future land use plan. So this is the new future land use plan. It's all, see they're all in the purple, and you can see where the property is there in yellow. So the purple represents a mixed use center as far as our future land use plan. So basically that's going to be a mixed use of commercial, retail, restaurants, and the like. So general character of the mixed use center is going to be to allow flexibility and respond to market demands. So right now that would appear the market demand is an office space. But you can see the potential zoning. The main one is CB for our mixed use designation. So it does list some possibilities of multifamily residential, general business, and neighborhood commercial. So with that being said, I'll answer any questions, but planning staff does find the request is reasonable and in public interest because the proposed zoning district is compatible with surrounding land uses and the future land use plan. So staff does recommend approval of the request to rezone 0.4 acres from R6 to central business. So I just run through the process before you take any questions or hear any public comments. Right now, this board will entertain public comments, and then we'll make a recommendation to town council thereafter. Town council will have this on their schedule for the December 9th meeting. So we'll put it on the schedule in November to actually schedule the public hearing for December. So with that, I'll answer any questions, and then we'll open it up to public comment.
Are there any questions from the board?
Yes, Brian, on the, this document, which is an internal document for your Winterville people, it says that this site data was 19.74 acres. Is that just an error, or is that the whole original parcel? And if that is an error, we should probably correct that first.
So what are you looking at, Mr. Killian? I'm
This
sorry.
is the abstract, your planning and zoning board agenda abstract.
It's total typo. Yep. Yeah, we'll
See
make
this-
that correction in there.
See in the center where it says 19.74 acres?
Just an absolute typo.
Okay,
Thank you
just-
for correcting
so we
me.
can
Yeah,
fix
it's only
that.
0.4 acres.
Okay.
It's a copy and paste error.
That's fine. The second question I have is, with the future land use, or the comprehensive land use being adopted at the last town board meeting, we're in between the old subdivision, and zoning ordinances.
Sure.
Which are in effect,
Sure.
and the guidance, as I interpreted from what the town council said, that they would prefer that we use this as a strong guidance.
Absolutely.
So what you said is that this is a mixed use according to the comprehensive, and therefore it's good. My one question, under mixed use, it calls for sidewalks. If we're going to rezone this, shouldn't sidewalks be put in if they're gonna receive a rezoning in front of the property?
It's a great question, and I'm not sure I have the answer for it right now. With the zoning ordinance the way it is, they marry up pretty well. But the way Central Business District works right now is there's not a requirement for any type of sidewalks or off-street parking. So the way it is right now is the way it would be per Central Business District. So without adding that beefed up architectural or design standards into the Central Business District, it's hard to say, yes, we move forward with recommending sidewalks when the zoning ordinance doesn't quite hit that yet. I don't think at this point we could do it. I think it checks almost all the boxes for this property, other than probably that. Yeah, and I will note to the applicant is in the audience if you have any questions specific to their application. So,
Now, you mentioned something about off-street parking.
right.
There is no off-street, on
Central
street?
Business District does not have any off-street parking requirements. No, sir.
Any other questions?
I got some questions for the,
Okay, would like to come forward?
How you doing? Brandon Smith, owner of B&S Homes. How y'all doing tonight?
All right.
right? Very good. Brandon, what are you planning on your hours of operation being over there?
Standard business hours, 7 to 5 in the summertime, 8 to 5 during the off-peak hours of construction season, if you will.
And will you be storing equipment and stuff over there on the property?
Well-
I know you got a construction company, you're gonna have some stuff, but you plan on, you're gonna have trucks and whatever else, other type of equipment over there storing, or are you just using it for office space?
Well, the property does have some benefits for the use of storage. If you're familiar with the old rescue squad, it has 3 big bays in it, so there's an exorbitant amount of internal storage that we are initially going to take advantage of. And moving forward, if I do have aspirations to potentially, build another covered storage area in the back of the property to store maybe a trailer or such. We don't have any aspirations to have a laydown yard where we're storing materials for other jobs. This is a great piece of property with how much interior space we have. So I feel if any materials that could become eyesores or sit there for an extended period of time, if a project got delayed, have a great opportunity to take a forklift right off the truck, bring it right inside and keep it protected. It's an investment we're making as well. So
What about your employees? Are they gonna be working from that office, or will they just meet you on the job sites? Or the reason I'm asking is, if they're gonna meet you there, then what are you gonna do about their vehicles being parked around there?
he mentioned doesn't require the off-street parking, but there is a good amount of off-street parking on this property. When this was the rescue squad, it was volunteer, so there were a whole lot of people that came and participated there. And so there's a good portion of property in the rear that will be fenced in, or is fenced in currently. That's where our guys will park. You know, I have a vision for a family-owned business, and so currently every member of our company is a family member. So we plan to meet there and congregate and maybe have breakfast, spend some time together as a family before we go do what this world tells us we need to do, which is make money.
Are there any other questions?
Well, how many employees will you have?
Well, I don't know what the future holds. I currently have 2 full-time employees, as well as my wife and my father-in-law who are part of the company. We won't do, no matter how big the company grows, there's not going to be a lot happening at the facility. We don't make money at the facility. You know, we make it out and about, you know, doing, you know, repairs and renovations. So I really can't say. It'll go wherever, you know, the market leads us, kind of like he said. So I hope a lot. But right now, it's just I have 2 vans, you know, that we operate out of, and an enclosed trailer, you know. So for the foreseeable future, all that can fit inside.
Or do you go out and work on jobs? You don't bring them into the building?
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, we do. I'm a realtor and a licensed contractor. So what I do is residential improvements. We repair a lot of these homes that are being bought and sold in the Winterville community. We do a lot of work through here, as well as, you know, any type of bathroom, you know, kitchen remodel. So everything happens, you know, at people's houses. And, you know, construction business, I run a just-in-time material delivery. So I don't have, you know, a warehouse full of supplies. They're not useful for me. I get them when I need them, and we use them, you know, rapidly.
So people are not coming into your building, other than somebody wants you to do something for them. But I mean, it's not open for sale?
Well,
Like a sale to individuals?
Well, we're going to have we want to be able to meet with clients and, you know, go over proposals for things like that. But yeah, all my initial site visits are going to happen, you know, at somebody's house. So I have to come and get a feel for their property, what we can or can't do, you know, and then hopefully we come back where we're going to have the computers and we can put a presentation together to, you know, you've seen Fixer Upper on HGTV, so that's kind of what we're looking for. I just have close ties to this building. My dad was captain of the rescue squad. So when I was growing up, and I hate to even admit it, but one time I played the Ouija board in that place. I didn't sleep for 2 nights because I was only like 10 years old with one of my brother's friends up there. But I mean, just getting the opportunity to go back through this facility brought back a lot of great memories, and I hate to see it in such disrepair. We have big aspirations to change it from an eyesore to make it something that people like to look at. I mean, that's what we do. We fix houses, and you know, we're gonna hope to fix this building and make it something everybody can be proud of. And then as I wasn't abreast to, you know, the land use changes that were coming in the future, you know, but I think we're going to create something that's going to fit right in, and it's going to be a start of something good for that area. Now I understand it's residential and commercial kind of coming together, and that's a tightrope that has to be walked, but we're not here to make enemies. We want friends, and you know, we're going to do whatever it takes to work with folks, and if there's issues, we'll work it out. We're not hard line in the sands kind of people, so you know, that's just where we come from. So we'll work with y'all however you need us to, and y'all in the future as our neighbors, hopefully coming up. So that's just where we stand.
Well, the reason I asked like that was like, you won't have trucks coming in with trailers behind them, or people wanting to come there and we'll buy. I guess I'm trying to say
Yeah,
wholesale.
She's
or-
like saying that you're not gonna be selling goods out of there like cabinets and countertops, where people could just go up there and buy a cabinet and take it home, something like that, right?
Right, that's what I
Yeah.
said.
No, we're not in that capacity.
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
I have 2 questions. Just a rough estimate, how many parking spaces do you think you have for staff behind the building? Just rough guess.
15, 18?
Okay, that sounds like plenty of parking. Second question is, is for Brian, do we have any ordinances about parking, trucks or equipped vans and stuff on the street?
So the only thing would be, it's gonna be in the code of ordinances, so you can't just have a trailer parked out on the road. It has to be connected to a truck. And I don't know the time frame, but I think there is a time frame associated with it, and just be guessing at this point. But they can park it out on the street, but it just has to be connected. You can't just put trailers out
Right.
not connected.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. So, and I will speak to the outdoor storage component. Mr. Smith and I had a conversation about whether or not to actually go for a general business or a central business. Central business fit well with what they were going, and it does not allow to have open storage for a contractor's facility. So he wouldn't be allowed to do it under a central business designation. So he would have to have it in a closed storage situation. So he wouldn't be able to come dump, have like a lay down yard, like he said in the back. So.
Are there any other questions for the applicant? Are there any public comments regarding this request? All right. Having have the information from Mr. Jones and having heard from the applicant, the request is for rezoning from R6 to central business. What is the pleasure of the board?
I just had one more question. Has any opposition?
I had
It's
no,
rezoning.
the only conversation I had was a positive one that was for property owners directly across the street. They were interested in sometime in the future actually going for a similar designation as well, so they were for it,
Okay.
but nothing against it.
I make a motion that we recommend approval of the rezoning request.
I'll second it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. The request is approved.
All right, so the only thing I got left for you is just some informational items. So as we've talked about, the town council did approve and adopt our comprehensive land use plan at their last meeting. So I just want to say publicly again, thank you to this board for your work and for those that provided their time and commitment for the steering committee. It was a big undertaking, and I do appreciate it, and I'm glad to get it behind us and start actually moving forward with it, implementing that plan. So the next thing, we got some upcoming projects, obviously, as a result of that, which will be our first and foremost is updating our ordinances. So that will include zoning and subdivision. So you guys will see that in the near future. You guys will definitely be a big part of that. Obviously, we want to. That's not going to be an easy process, but it won't be nearly as lengthy as the actual planning process for the land use plan. So you also see up there, Census 2020 is coming up. We are part of Pitt County's Complete Count Committee, so we do have a meeting coming up with them. So we'll get some direction from those guys from the federal Census Bureau, and hopefully we can get a good count here in Winterville, and that way we can hopefully secure some funding for some much needed infrastructure projects and all that good stuff, whatever, it comes with that. Other than that, that's all I got. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have for me.
I have a question, Brian. At our last meeting, this Planning and Zoning Board denied a request for rezoning for the Hare Neats property because it had duplexes. I heard a rumor that they're going to the town council with a request for rezoning directly with single-family houses.
I haven't gotten a request for that, so if they were going to change it up to that effect, it would have to start over.
They have to start over to us, correct?
Yeah, so I mean, barring because their application specifically was conditional for the duplexes, so they wanted R6 conditions. So those conditions go with that request. So if they want to go back to the drawing board, it starts with you guys. So I haven't gotten that. Nothing's been come through my office about that. As a matter of fact, Mr. Russell with Rocky Russell Development said he was still going forward with the application just as submitted to town council. So that is on council's agenda for next month. They did schedule the public hearing this past meeting. So we'll see what happens with town council with that on the November 12th meeting.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? We thank you for your report, Brian, and all the work you all and staff have done in preparing this for us. If there being nothing else before the board, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
It's been moved in second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, you're welcome to stay.